A deleted recording, a former model making explosive allegations, and once again, the name Jeffrey Epstein is back at the center of a political firestorm. This time, the claims involve First Lady Melania Trump. But before we go any further, it's important to note one key fact. These are allegations made by a former associate of Melania Trump. They have not been substantiated, and Melania Trump has publicly denied any connection between Jeffrey Epstein and her introduction to Donald Trump. Still, the allegations are making headlines and raising fresh questions. The controversy erupted after former Brazilian model Amanda Ungaro posted a recording on social media platform X. In the recording, Ungaro accuses her former partner Paolo Zampolli of misleading people about how Melania Trump first met Donald Trump. For years, the accepted public version of events has been that Melania Knauss met Donald Trump in a New York party in 1998 while she was working as a model represented by Zampolli. That account has become a well-known part of the Trump story. It's also a version Melania herself has repeatedly defended, but Ungaro is challenging that narrative. In the recording, she claims it was not Zampolli who introduced Melania to Trump. Instead, she alleges that Jeffrey Epstein was responsible for bringing the future First Lady and future President together. Ungaro can be heard saying, "Let's tell the public you never was the one introducing Melania to Trump." She then continues, "It was Jeffrey Epstein. That's how she met Donald Trump." Ungaro also claims she knows this because she spent approximately 2 decades with Zampolli and says he repeatedly told her the introduction did not come through him. The allegation immediately drew attention online, not only because it involves Melania Trump, but because it touches on one of the most scrutinized figures in modern American public life, Jeffrey Epstein. The disgraced financier died in jail in 2019 while awaiting trial on federal sex trafficking charges. His relationships with powerful figures across politics, business, and entertainment continue to generate headlines years later. And now, a new accusation has thrust that story back into the spotlight. According to reports, the recording was briefly posted on Ungaro's X account before later being deleted. The Daily Beast reported on the recording and sought comment from the White House and the office of the First Lady. According to the Daily Beast, Paolo Zampolli forcefully rejected Ungaro's claims. "I think it is a disgrace that she dares to say this about our marvelous First Lady," Zampolli told the publication. He also expressed concern for his former partner. "I'm truly concerned for her health, and I think she truly needs some therapy," he added. Zampolli remains a prominent Trump ally. He currently serves as Special Envoy for Global Partnerships and is also a member of the Kennedy Center Board of Trustees. The dispute between Zampolli and Ungaro did not begin with this latest allegation. The two have reportedly been locked in a bitter custody battle for months, and that legal conflict has generated accusations from both sides. Ungaro previously made headlines after claiming Zampolli used his political influence in Washington to trigger her arrest by U.S. immigration authorities during the custody dispute. Both Zampolli and the Department of Homeland Security have denied those allegations. But the new recording has placed the spotlight firmly back on the Epstein controversy. And it has also revived attention around Ungaro's own connection to Epstein's world. According to reports, Ungaro was 17 years old when she boarded Epstein's private jet in June 2002. The flight traveled from Paris to New York. She was accompanied by French modeling scout Jean-Luc Brunel. Brunel later became one of Epstein's most controversial associates and was accused of recruiting young women into Epstein's orbit. Over the years, Ungaro and Zampolli reportedly moved within many of the same elite social circles as Donald and Melania Trump. Photographs from various Mar-a-Lago events showed the couples attending social functions together. That shared history is one reason why the latest allegations have attracted attention. But so far, there is no publicly released evidence presented alongside Ungaro's recording to support her claims. And Melania Trump has already addressed similar allegations directly. In April, the First Lady held a surprise press conference during which she strongly rejected claims linking her to Epstein. At the time, she described the allegations as mean-spirited and politically motivated lies.
Epstein did not introduce me to Donald Trump. I met my husband by chance at a New York City party in 1998. My polite reply to her email doesn't amount to anything more than a trivial note.
Whether the latest accusation leads to new revelations or simply becomes another chapter in the long-running Epstein saga, one thing is clear. The questions surrounding Epstein's network continue to cast a shadow years after his death. And whenever his name resurfaces, controversy is never far behind.
Good afternoon. The lies linking me with the disgraceful Jeffrey Epstein need to end today. The individuals lying about me are devoid of ethical standards, humility, and respect. I do not object to their ignorance, but rather I reject their mean-spirited attempts to defame my reputation. I never been friends with Epstein. Donald and I were invited to the same parties as Epstein from time to time, since overlapping in social circles is common in New York City and Palm Beach. To be clear, I never had a relationship with Epstein or his accomplice, Maxwell. My email reply to Maxwell cannot be categorized as anything more than casual correspondence. My polite reply to her email doesn't amount to anything more than a trivial note. I am not Epstein's victim. Epstein did not introduce me to Donald Trump. I met my husband by chance at a New York City party in 1998. This initial encounter with my husband is documented in detail in my book, Melania. The first time I crossed paths with Epstein was in the year 2000 at an event Donald and I attended together. At the time, I had never met Epstein and had no knowledge of his criminal undertakings. Numerous fake images and statements about Epstein and me have been circulating on social media for years now. Be cautious about what you believe. These images and stories are completely false. I'm not a witness or a named witness in connection with any of Epstein's crimes. My name has never appeared in court documents, depositions, victim statements, or FBI interviews surrounding the Epstein matter. I have never had any knowledge of Epstein's abuse of his victims. I was never involved in any capacity. I was not a participant, was never on Epstein's plane, and never visited his private island. I have never been legally accused or convinced of a crime in connection with Epstein's sex trafficking, abuse of minors, and other repulsive behavior. The false smears about me from mean-spirited and politically motivated individuals and entities looking to cause damage to my good name, to gain financially and climb politically, must stop. My attorneys and I have fought these unfounded and baseless lies with success and will continue to maintain my sound reputation without hesitation. To date, several individuals and companies have been legally obligated to publicly apologize and retract their lies about me, such as Daily Beast, James Carville, and HarperCollins, UK. Now is the time for Congress to act. Epstein was not alone. Several prominent male executives resigned from their powerful positions after this matter became widely politicized. Of course, this doesn't amount to guilt, but we still must work openly and transparently to uncover the truth. I call on Congress to provide the women who have been victimized by Epstein with a public hearing specifically centered around the survivors. Give these victims their opportunity to testify under oath in front of Congress with the power of sworn testimony. Each and every woman should have her day to tell her story in public if she wishes, and then her testimony should be permanently entered into the congressional record. Then, and only then, we will have the truth. Thank you.